Yo, what is up? Guys, we have a worrying chart to look at, but I want to tell you first and foremost, okay? Life's electric. Life's a vibe. Just don't look at your altcoin portfolio for a few days. Things are going to be okay, okay? Or not, but life's a vibe anyway. It's great. Life's good. Have some gratitude for the beauty in life, okay? It's just magic internet money at the end of the day. It goes up and it goes down in price. Yeah, it's good times. We're going to get into this. We got a lot to talk about today, including getting to your questions second half of the stream. So let's get it. First and foremost, this chart right here, this is the one I'm talking about. This is the title of today's video. This right here, MACD weekly bearish crossover, getting uncomfortably close. Now, I would like to point out, just because it gets uncomfortably close doesn't mean that it can't flip back in the other direction, okay? You saw, for example, here in January 24, got extremely close, flipped back in the other direction, okay? You can even see here, for example, it's not exactly the same because this has had a massive run up, but just an example back here in September 2020, we had a similar situation where it actually flipped over for a week before grinding back up. So it's not definitive that that's going to be the end of all things. But if we get a bearish cross confirmed here, and it is getting, let's just zoom in here. Look, there it is. There's so little distance between it right now. Look, right there. If that finishes the weekly and confirms, probably not awesome. Okay, you need Bitcoin to go up a couple of percent anyway to avoid the worst scenario playing out there. And again, just because it happens doesn't mean it's all over, right? But it's not a great sign. Definitely showing the momentum has slowed down dramatically, even for Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin so far has been pretty good, staying within its $92,000 to $102,000 range approximately. But this could indicate a changing of the tide, which is super annoying considering all of the wildly bullish macro fundamental stuff going on in the background. And it may not last long if that happens, okay? But you just got to keep it real where we are right now, what the chart is currently saying, okay? And in previous times when this has happened, we can see late April 2024 right here, okay? That was after a consolidation period, basically being stuck in a range between about $60,000 and $70,000 for, a couple months on end there before finally breaking down further throughout the summer months. Now, it's not exactly the same, but, it's worth keeping these things in mind. And we've got some other ideas to share with you here, too, that show maybe not everything's as bad as it is right now. But this is something to keep on your mind right now. Currently, we have defended the 20-week EMA yellow line here on the chart, which is good. But a drop below the 20-week EMA, which is currently at $89,000, would coincide with a weekly MACD bear cross. That'd be not good news for your magic internet money, okay? And you can see the importance of the current price action too, because these are the two peaks previously. Draw this line right across here. We've been consolidating right above that recently, okay? You want to bounce from here in the not so distant future. But again, that's a very important line, okay? B Creed says, Lark, I'm confused. Thought we need Bitcoin dominance to drop before seeing an alt season. Usually they coincide together, okay? Usually these things coincide. Not always. You can see a lot of altcoins did have strong performance during times when Bitcoin was relatively dominant because the price of Bitcoin is also going up at the same time the altcoins are going up. But right now we had a big Bitcoin dominance spike. Altcoins went down pretty dramatically, okay? Okay. Y'all don't realize your negative comments are the best time if you're buying right now. Market's about to take off. We got some interesting charts here coming 40 minutes. Stick around, guys. Bitcoin archive here last time. Weekly MACD crossed bearish. Took 6 months to break out again. Okay, so if we get a definitive bearish cross, that could be it for a little while. That's not to say everything's going to go to zero. I mean, some of your coins might go to zero, some of your altcoins, right? But Bitcoin might just go through a deeper corrective period before the Fed starts easing, for example, which the big banks are thinking is going to happen in Q2. Okay, so just FYI, you should have these scenarios in your brain. What happens if that happens? What will you do? Okay, daily here for Bitcoin, we are still consolidating just below the 50-day EMA. We've done this a couple times. This is back in early January before lifting off to 110. We did this in late December before lifting off to 104. So As long as we bounce relatively soon, all good. But if we keep grinding here, get rejected, come back down to the 100-day EMA, and I think that actually the 200-day EMA is lining up right now about with our lower targets down here, $84,000. I mean, goodness gracious, to lose that, it's, you know, it's bad news bears, man. That's what that is. Nothing good happens in that situation. Here's one. Will posted this. What would you do if we did the replay of last year? We just consolidate and grind sideways for like 6 months. I would lose my mind. I don't know about you, man. We just did that. We just did that, Bitcoin. Come on, man. Hey, by the way, if you'll be trading these cryptocurrency markets, got yourself an account over on BitUnix. It is the hot spot to be trading coins right now. No KYC, no VPN, no BS. All you have to do is click that link down below. It's going to take you straight over to BitUnix, where you can deposit some coins, start trading, get up to a $5,500 in deposit and trading bonuses, which is a super sweet deal. They got all the big coins over here. Whether you want to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all of the fun altcoins tend to get listed pretty damn soon over there as well. So a lot of great coins over there to trade with. Spot markets, futures markets, they got the works, okay? Link down below. It's where I'm doing most of my trading these days, by the way. Go check it out. It's a great exchange to be using if you're looking for a place to trade. Okay, so continuing. Just keep in mind, always, sentiment can shift in a second around here, okay? Sentiment can always shift real fast in crypto, as you've seen. A few weeks ago, it was new paradigm money vibes. Now it's, well, everything's the end of all things. I know I talked about the gold chart the other day, but I want to mention it again. This one here from Mr. Crypto. Now, gold is going vertical, setting new highs. Bitcoin always follows gold, but with a delay. Once gold tops out, Bitcoin will probably take the lead. Now, the green chart here is gold. You can see back in 2020, for example, gold peaked, and then about a few months later, Bitcoin went on its big run, okay? Even recently, you can see like on the three wave here, gold peaks in late 2024, and then a few weeks later, 2 months later, things start kicking off, okay? So question is whether we can do that again now with gold currently on a big rally. Let's see. Bitcoin Data 21 says update for cycle peak price targets based on Bitcoin ratios using monthly RSI trendline, RSI bands. So a few interesting ways to look at it. Bitcoin copper ratio 240K, Bitcoin gold 265, Bitcoin silver 208, Bitcoin NASDAQ 299, M2 supply, M1 supply 240 about each, Chinese money supply 221, People's Bank of China balance sheet 251, major central banks 200K, average 240K. Interesting. Just a different way to think about it. DXY currently still bouncing off the 50-day EMA, but showing a lot of weakness in general. So hopefully we continue seeing it go down, which should be good for our risk assets. Crypto Amsterdam here with a very true chart. He's actually, this is all the way back from 2021, by the way, even some stuff from 2020. He said 2021 gets praised a lot. If you were around in 2021, fuck, that was a crazy market cycle, man. It was nuts. It was nuts. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of, you look back on everything, the rose tinted glass, and we forget about the gargantuan dumps and thinking it was over multiple times. Anyway, it's interesting. Said after 1,000 days in that cycle, when Bitcoin is consolidating after its first leg into new highs, which is where we are right now for Bitcoin, by the way, the altcoin sentiment was terrible. Very true. You can see here, this is not 2017 institutional money buying BTC, not dumb money buying shit coins. Too many altcoins makes the money spread too much in different coins. This tweet makes me lose hope for alt season. Is it just me or is everyone in loss 90% alts that they're in on? This is all from December 2020. All these tweets, okay? That same sentiment we're seeing right now Okay. And look here on the chart. Okay. Bitcoin had its nice first run up, started consolidating, corrected a bit. But look what happened to altcoins right around the same time Bitcoin's doing. They nuked mega hard. Now, again, I'm not saying that this history is going to repeat or all that kind of stuff, just that these human sentiment, the emotional roller coaster stuff tends to have certain rhymes with the way the markets play out, okay? Will we see something similar again? Well, let's watch and see. I like this chart. This is from Renaissance. He said he overlaid basically the Wall Street cheat sheet with current price action. Imagine if we're only in hope right now. I know a lot of people are already like, oh, we're in complacency, we're in denial, we're in anger, depression. It depends on the coin that you're in. Some of the altcoins are basically in bear market conditions right now. There's no other way to put it. In fact, a lot of altcoins are down 80, 90%. It's insanity. Not all altcoins, XRP is still doing pretty good. Solana is still doing pretty good relatively. It's only down like 30% or something like that. Some others are doing really good. We've had Mantra and Ondo Finance doing pretty good recently. Some of these real world stuff, right? So, yeah. Trader Cause, I think the biggest takeaway from these most recent market dynamics is you can't base your bull bear thesis on how Bitcoin looks. It's been actually pretty true because we've seen Bitcoin doing its thing and altcoins almost doing very, very different things at different times, okay? Says, I don't think we're in the same 4-year cycles we've seen before. I think we have mini cycles within the overall cycle, if that makes sense. If you're holding on to coins with the thesis that Bitcoin looks good, there's no reason to sell. You've gotten yourself rinsed the last few weeks. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Bitcoin has looked pretty good, and altcoins have just been slaughtered. It's been wild. But again, similar dynamics played out in late 2020 before we had mega moves in the altcoin market. Is this time different? Let's see. The new dynamics will reward those who are nimble, can hit rotations, then get out, move on to the next thing, rotating profits on the staples in Bitcoin. Plus, this is also very true. Even back then, things moved very fast. We had very quick, very savage rotations through different coins. Metaverse was hot for 2 months, and then boom, all those coins went to zero, right? Gaming was hot for 2 months, and everything went down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there was rotations back then. There's rotations now, and you have to be ready to take profits, perhaps more aggressively than before. Okay, don't get married to bags. Crypto Bullet posting this here. Others versus Bitcoin 1 month chart. Very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. We're at the do or die line, as he says. Made a new cycle low on Monday, which is crazy. Bitcoin's too strong. Altcoins are weak. Okay. Good news is we hit the bottom of the rising channel, which is great support. It's true. Let's see how that plays out. We're at a very critical level for a lot of altcoins right now. A lot of stuff's come back down to those sort of do or die levels. This chart's been being shared around quite a bit, but it's also kind of true. Now, whether it plays out or not, it's a whole different story, but it just gives you a bit of perspective. Another way of looking at the others versus BTC others on the weekly here. Okay. Immortal shared this one. I like this chart. It's very interesting. So basically, you see cycle bottom here, sideways with rallies here, bull trend here, expansion phase, 532 days, giving us a likely cycle top for Bitcoin and probably most of the cryptocurrency market in October. Now, that also, by the way, think about catalyst, sparks, what's going to get us there. It also lines up with what I've been saying around a potential Bitcoin strategic reserve, because Cynthia Loomis and David Sachs, they have to make the proposal by the end of July. Congress is off in August, so they come back in September, debate it, and pass or don't pass the bill probably is going to mark the top around October-ish, September, October, something like that. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. The total 3 still hanging on by a thread here, okay? So after the big flush out the other day, all the way back down to the 50-week EMA, currently hanging out on the 20-week EMA. Okay, if we close the weekly there, I think that'd be nice to see. This is, of course, the key line for it to stay above right here as well. The others, not looking super hot. However, there's a silver lining here, even though we're currently trading below the frickin' 200-day EMA. Brutal, just brutal, ugly price action here. But we are currently sitting here. Okay, around 267 billion or whatever. It's around 250, 255 billion. Now that's support from back here, resistance from here, support, support, support. Okay, so even though support right there. Critical area here for altcoins. Critical area here for altcoins. You want to see a bounce here. If we fail to see a bounce, things get pretty rough. Okay. Solana having, oh, Solana. Hey, what's up, buddy? Solana's having a nice little bounce here off of the 200-day EMA, which is what you want to see. 200-day EMA, man, come on, that is way down there, okay? Way down there. So we want to see a nice bounce here, a reversal on that daily MACD coming in. It'd be nice to see here as well. But obviously, the real strength I want to see come back in for Solana. The bounce off the 200-day EMA is nice, but here's the thing. That's like the, it's on the line of like do or die here, okay? You can already see a lot of other majors have lost that 200-day EMA a long time ago. Solana's been a much stronger coin. But what I want to see is it get back up here around 215. That retakes the 20-day, the 50-day, and the orange downtrend line. So showing a lot more strength here for Solana in that situation. Ethereum still consolidating right around the $2,800 line, just below it, actually. That is the key line for ETH, okay? Rainer says, Lark, it's already over. Just move on. Well, I'm going to be here, but I'll see you next I'll see you next time, man. Cash up, sell out, walk away, be done. If that's what you think, right? If that's what you think, right? Then be done. And that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to take your money and walk away. It's always okay. Right? This is my thing, man. I love crypto. It's such a fun market to be in. It's challenging sometimes, sure, but it's a never dull. Callum says, of course, crypto YouTubers are going to bias the scenario, which stretches out their content for as long as possible. Look, dude, bear market, bull market. I'm going to be around here, Callum. I know that a lot of people only want to come in when the markets are hot. I mean, we covered all the statistics back in late November, early December, and again, around the launch of the Trump meme coin. A lot of people enter the market to just top blast everything and then lose all their fucking money and get pissed off about it. I've been here since the bottom of the bear market, talking about buying Bitcoin, accumulating Bitcoin, and I'll be here in the bottom of the next bear market. Okay. Although next bear market, I think I'm going to take a few months off. So I've said before, but that's a different story. I need a break. I'm making YouTube videos nonstop for like 8 years now. It's a different question. Different question. Anyway, Fartcoin also attempting a breakout here. Okay. Also bouncing off a key area of price support. Again, a lot of cryptocurrencies are at that do or die kind of level. Okay. A do or die kind of level. So let's see if we can build some strength into anything. I mean, obviously, Fartcoin is a wildly speculative asset. I mean, it's clickbait, man. It's exactly what we talked about. It is worrying about the weekly MACD. If you disagree that the weekly MACD on Bitcoin about to turn over is not worrying, then that is you. But that is not clickbait. I refute that claim. That's ridiculous, you guys, and your sensitivity towards video titles. 4 hour here on XRP. Somebody asked about XRP, so we'll talk about it real quick. 4 hour here on XRP. We need to recover that 20 period EMA yellow line in the chart here. So you get back above 245, close above it. You can see it's been rejected here a few times already. If you close above 245, that retakes the 20 period EMA. Could be an interesting move there for a short-term move there for XRP. Now, in the bigger picture for XRP, since you guys are asking about it, again, another coin showing a lot of weakness. Now, XRP was an absolute beast mode here for a while, but on the recent downturn at the start of February, it sold off very, very badly, getting all the way back down to 170 here. Brutal sell-off, like most coins, of course, not exclusive to XRP. Then we're recovering now, but still below the 50-day EMA, okay? Above the 100-day EMA. Why is that one yellow too? Anyway, this second yellow line here is the 100-day EMA. So it's stronger than a lot of coins right now. Compare that to ETH, which is like so bad. So bad. Hey, by the way, sign up to the newsletter. It's awesome. I love it. It's free. Go check it out. Okay, so link down below. 150,000 people read that bad boy, and you can be one of those people. Now, let's do you guys' questions. Okay, let's do some questions. Okay, let's have a good time. Lark, if you're all in on Oasis, why are you all in on one coin? Why is anyway, Oasis rose and lost 60%. What would you do? The question is, why did you buy? Okay. What drove you to buy it in the first place? What was your thesis behind it? And has your thesis changed? Have the fundamentals of what you've bought changed, or is it just because the price has changed, you now have a different opinion? Okay. My guess is that Rose, like any other coins, if we do see a bounce back in the near future, is going to pump good. Okay. So let's see. Oh my gosh. At this rate, I'm forcing my wife to start an OF. That's brutal, man. That's brutal. How can anyone take crypto seriously with coins like fart coins? Coins like fart coin that will destroy crypto. You know, there's been silliness in crypto for a very, very long time. And it's easy to let the silly things happening at the fringes distract you from the real stuff happening at the core of crypto. Okay, this is the value layer of the internet in a variety of ways. And there's all kinds of grifting and bullshit and scamming and useless layer twos and useless layer ones and all the rest of it happening out here. Okay, VCs just come in and extract. The cabals extract. It's the way the game is. Okay, it's brutal, but it's a Wild West market. Always has been and probably will be, at least for the foreseeable future. Even if BlackRock's here, they haven't tamed the Wild West. There's just a couple sheriffs in town now, let's say. But in terms of something like Fartcoin, what, Dogecoin was so much more serious? Dogecoin's been around for 10 years now. How can anyone take crypto seriously when they have a dog worth, with a Bitcoin with a dog picture on it, worth $90 billion? It was worth $90 billion last cycle, by the way. I know. Lark, I keep hearing majors in the space talking about marketing Josh as the new catalyst. We've seen this before. We've been here before. Again, late 2020 was a very similar situation. It's tiring being in these markets 24/7. It really is. And a lot of people are like me, are here all the time. And it is exhausting psychologically to keep seeing all the crazy happen and all the sentiment on the timeline and stuff. Okay. Ask me a question, Lark. Has your stance changed on Litecoin with the ETF news? No, I still don't like Litecoin, but as always, if you guys like Litecoin, we'll make money on it. Make money on it, man. Do that thing, man. Go make some money on it. Plus, I think there's probably a really good trade opportunity in there for Litecoin, specifically around the ETF trade. I mean, that's really the only thing it's got going for it right now. What other catalyst could there possibly be? What other reason could there possibly be to buy Litecoin in 2025, except for the ETF speculation, which is fine. Speculate on the ETF, trade the ETF speculation, makes sense. But in terms of the fundamentals, I mean, the fundamentals in crypto are pretty... Anyway, fundamentally, Litecoin's not bad. It's a master of its own algorithm. It's cheaper than Bitcoin. It's fine. There's a lot of fine things to like about Litecoin, but I just don't see it as being particularly a standout coin for a variety of reasons in 2025. But it'll pump if it gets an ETF, quite simply. Okay. Everybody's so worried and scared. I'm considering taking a loan and going all in. It's risky, man. It's risky. I know the temptation, but don't do it. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to give you financial advice. Do whatever the hell you want to do. You're an adult. But I would just like to say the problem is if you're wrong, if the market stays irrational longer than you can remain, well, servicing that loan, or how much damage would that loan do to you, right? If the market stays irrational for the year, which could happen. It's crypto. Anything can happen. It's markets. Anything can happen. Then you've got a bunch of underwater bags and a loan to the bank you got to pay. It's a difficult proposition. I've seen some people do it very good. People have maxed out credit cards and all that kind of stuff and taken bank loans and remortgaged their house and all that stuff and had it very successful, right? And made a lot of money. And there's a lot of people who didn't. Lost everything. Okay? Don't blow yourself up. Okay? Don't take on unnecessary debt. I know it's tempting, but just be sane out there, guys, okay? No more buyers. This time altcoin season has been canceled. Literally go back to all the comments we were sharing at the start of the video, talking about that exact same sentiment in late 2020. There's not going to be an altcoin season. There's too much token dilution, blah, 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 blah. Similar thing. You provide a ton of people are awful. You provide a ton of value to viewers. Thank you very much. Appreciate the nice comment. It's tough, man. It's tough. I feel for people. I understand. I know, guys. It fucking sucks. You're looking at your portfolio. Everything's fucking down. Okay, I get it. We've all been there before. Okay, things usually get better in the market at some point. Okay, that may not sound like a very reassuring thing to say, but we try to lay out the charts here. We try to lay out the different scenarios. Try to remind you, of course, not to invest more than you can afford to lose, take too much risk, but people do. People do. It's human nature. Of course, you want to take more risk. Of course, you want to get rich. Of course, you want to put the fucking pedal to the metal and make it all, right? It's dangerous. There's a reason why I keep saying, hey, guys, crypto investing's risky. You can lose all your money. Because it's true. Okay, the only coin I have strong belief in for long term is Bitcoin. Everything else is just, whether long-term swing trades, cyclical trades, opportunities for staking, if there's sort of real yield being accrued to the token, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff there, but for the most part, the vast majority of altcoins have very little value, have very little use case, and will in the future have very little value because they have very little use case. A lot of it's just based on attention and hype, which is fine. You can trade that, but you have to be understanding of what it actually is. Lark, why are people still interested in crypto? Spend your profits, come back in 4 years. Well, people are still interested in crypto because a lot of people still believe that 2025 has a lot of juice left in the tank, that the economic conditions in the United States are generally good right now, and they have been generally good, okay, for a variety of factors. Not everything. There's still some worries about inflation coming back and stuff like that. But for the most part, economic conditions are good. GDP is good. Trump laying off hundreds of thousands of federal workers, probably not going to be great in a few months, but that's for later us to worry about. QE is going to probably happen in Q2. Some smaller central banks are already doing it. Rates going to keep getting cut. There's a lot of things to like that could keep the markets rolling. So here's the deal. When crypto pumps, we don't enjoy the dump days, do we? Nobody likes the downside volatility. But when we get upside volatility again, there's a lot of money to be made in crypto, which is why people want to keep paying attention for the next year. Now, if you believe this is it, it's over and the bear market is here. And again, that weekly MACD bear cross on Bitcoin is a worrying sign and something we want to see get reversed in the relatively near future, or we could be in for a few months of uncertainty, and markets don't like uncertainty. Anyway, it's a different story. If you believe that it's really over, okay, and that this is it, this is the bear market, then you should be totally in cash by now. Maybe you are, Scott. And in that case, you don't want to check back in 4 years, buddy. You want to check back in 12 to 18 months to buy the bottom of the bear market. But I think the timing's a little off. No, Dalton, I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry, man. Lark, do you think AI agents have a real utility or just some shit like meme coins? Some have real utility. Most of them are just shitty meme coins with, LLMs attached to them, language models, AI language models attached to them. Yep. Trump has invested in the market, invested interest in the market. It's very true. You look at how balls deep Trump and his whole administration is in crypto. I mean, seriously, the president owns Bitcoin. I didn't even cover this story today. It's just so much to get through. And I thought this stuff was more important, but I don't know if you guys saw the story yesterday. Trump's company is going to launch Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ETF products. The president of the United States has sold NFTs, owns Ethereum, okay, is pushing for a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States. It's probably going to acquire Bakkt, which is a major crypto infrastructure company, is launching a Bitcoin ETF. Now, I know it's not Donald doing it specifically, but his companies and his sons are probably the ones really pushing a lot of the stuff forward, but still massive. He launched a meme coin, went to $20 billion. And I know it's been down only since then, but at some point, I think that'll probably have a nice big bounce too. We don't have V-shaped recovery after dipping so much. No, not usually. Might be a little more grind through through February. But remember, February is usually a month that ends green. Will this February be one of the oddball Februarys where it doesn't? It's always possible. Okay. Hey, boss, I need cash. Do I sell my Bitcoin or else? I cannot answer that question for you, man. I have no idea. Did you just top blast everything? Are you massively up on profits? Ideally, if you can, don't sell your Bitcoin just because it's Bitcoin, man. But you know, sometimes you do have to sell your Bitcoin, and it sucks. So it depends what you're attached more to, what you have more faith in, right? Think about this. Here's an interesting question for you. If you were to have to buy any of those assets today, which ones would you actually buy? Usually it's an interesting way to look at it. When I think about selling something, I think, would I actually buy this at the current price? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay. Babyface, first time watching live, watching for a year. I've been dollar cost averaging since last year, and I'm at a negative return for the first time in a year. Keeping the faith, though. Nice. Well, it's good. You know, this is the thing. Dollar cost averaging helps you average it out. And I don't know which coins you've been dollar cost averaging to, how much your loss is currently, et cetera, et cetera. But usually dollar cost averaging is a pretty good strategy. Just continue to get exposure to the market. So nice. Welcome to the stream. Oh, here's a good question. Lark, if institutions are in ETFs, where is the money going to come for altcoins to pump? Now, here's another major factor for the Trump administration. Currently, we have applications in with the SEC for a crap ton of shitcoin ETFs, man. We got Solana, we got XRP, we got Litecoin, Dogecoin, Trump coin. There's like 5 or 6 more. I can't even remember them all anymore. There's like 5 or 6 more altcoins that have got ETF applications in right now. So you have to understand, institutions are not just going to buy Bitcoin. Okay, institutions are going to buy Solana. They're going to buy XRP. They're going to buy, yes, Litecoin, okay? They're going to buy a damn Litecoin. It's all going to happen. They're going to exposure through these TradFi rails, which is going to bring up the whole market. Now, it's going to hit some coins more than others, obviously. But as those coins pump, profits rotate because most of the money is being held on chain right now. Okay. Do you think the Bitcoin streak reserve is possible in 2025? I think we get a bill on it this year. I'm not 100% sure they're going to pass it, but I think we get a bill on it by the end of the year. And whether pass or fail, that bill probably marks the top of the market cycle, would be my guess. But nice if we got it. That'd be cool. It was so hard for you to say Litecoin. I don't hate Litecoin, guys. Used to own a lot of Litecoin back in the day. I got fond memories about Litecoin. I just, you know, trying to keep it real, in my opinion, that I just don't think it's that exciting in 2025. Ethereum at 2,000. Oh my gosh. It'd be nice if Ethereum doesn't go back to $2,000. Jeez. But, you know, we need to get some momentum picking back up in the market again. The worrying thing is that Bitcoin starts trending down too. All the altcoins are already so cooked in the charts. What happens if Bitcoin loses the weekly momentum as well? No bueno. That's what. Good evening. Watch a recent video on the top. You gave 2 dates there about May and September end. What do you lean more towards? So as I've said before, and we need to see how markets play out. I know pessimism is very high in the market right now with a lot of coins at major support levels or broken down structures in a lot of cases. So we need to start seeing some bounces here, obviously. However, I still think there's that potential for, if we don't turn over and absolutely get slaughtered over the next few months, which could happen, and you need to be prepared for that possibility. But I still think there's good potential for a 150K local peak in like April, for example, and then a final market peak, 250K post summer in like October, September, November, something like that. That's my thought for a while. Could be completely wrong. You guys know how it is, but that's my opinion. Sticking to it for the meantime until proven otherwise. Fred says bear market coming in March. I mean, altcoins are already in a bear market. Talking about Bitcoin specifically, if that MACD weekly bear cross happens, we might start seeing some downward momentum. It's crazy that altcoins are already basically back to disgusting lows. If they drop another 90%, Armageddon, man. Armageddon. Lark, if XRP is at a $300 billion market cap right now, even just 3x from here means it goes to crazy levels. Do you think that's realistic this cycle? Yeah, it is realistic. Does it mean it's the most likely scenario? I'm not sure. You start looking at some evaluations on these things and say, okay, is XRP really worth $1 trillion? Is Ethereum worth $1 trillion? Yeah. Interesting questions. Jordan says I'm fully out of the market now, just scalping with a few dollars that I've got left here. A lot of a lot of trading opportunities out there in the market. A lot of trading opportunities. How is Ondo Lark? I bought it at 75 cents. Well, they had a lot of big announcements recently. So I know that they got that going for them. I haven't really spent a lot of time looking at the chart to give you an opinion about the current status. Someone peeled the banana. Justin's son did it. I saw, man. He bought the banana and he ate it. That's what happened to your banana zone. Dennis says, let's all be bearish so the market will go bullish. True. At these extremes of sentiment, you have to decide what side of the fence you're on here. If you believe that it's over, okay? Bro, really, if you believe that it's over and this is the start of a new bear market and it's all going to go down dramatically from here, then you probably want to sell, be in cash, and just walk away. Forget about crypto for a while. If you are of the thought that it's not over, as we go into all these positive macroeconomic conditions, and we have the most pro-crypto administration ever and all that kind of stuff, and if you've got a thesis around that, then you're either holding or buying more if you have cash on the side. Not financial advice, obviously, but you're seeing opportunities and you're taking advantage of them, right? Usually these extremes in sentiment, especially post-massive leverage washouts, a lot of people got hurt this week. You got to keep this real, guys. A lot of people got hurt this week. I had so many DMs, and it just pisses me off getting those kind of messages. But we had a lot of people get fucked up this week, man. Because on Monday, when you had the big leverage washout, Bybit, they said they had $10 billion in liquidations alone. So across the industry, we're talking tens of billions. A lot of people lost a lot of money and they're fucking pissed off and they're feeling bad. And people who've been in the game for years blew themselves up using cross margin and stuff like that. You got to be careful, guys. Don't use cross margin. Okay. If you're leverage trading, don't use cross margin. Use a damn stop loss. Use low leverage. Okay. Like I leverage trade. It's fun. Fine. Not a problem. I use like 2 or 3x leverage and a stop loss every damn time. Okay. Always protecting my downside risk. I'd much rather get stopped out and reassess than wake up and like, oh, I'm down 40%. Oh no, I'm using cross margin, so my entire portfolio is now at risk, and I'll be fucked if it goes down another 5%. That's way too much stress, man. Way too much stress. Okay. We are getting up there, aren't we? Got to finish this up here in a second, guys. Philip says, Lark, can you outright just say people who think it's over are actually retarded? We haven't even seen a 20% Bitcoin pullback yet, which is a very normal thing to happen in the bull markets. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it. Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay. And again, like I said, if you really are on that, like it's absolutely over sort of vibe. And again, we talked about the scenario at the start of the video where there's concerns around the price of Bitcoin moving forward, unless we get those charts reversing here in the not so distant future, right? But if you're someone who's made that call based on some kind of rational thing, not just, fear because you're down 30, 40, 50% of your portfolio, and you think it's over because X, Y, and Z reasons, there's going to be a financial crisis, or you're looking at particular charts and they're freaking you out and think, okay, that's a real problem, or you think inflation, whatever it's going to be. Valid reasons, get out of the market. But I think we're just the normal bull market stuff. And again, as we laid out very clearly in this video, if I haven't seen it, go back and watch that part. That in 2020, same situation happened. Bitcoin makes a big move, makes a 100% move. Altcoins have a little bit of movement, and then they get slaughtered on a slight Bitcoin pullback. Those are fun times to be in the market. Yeah, we just keep letting these live streams get longer and longer, don't we? Okay, guys, we are going to have to... okay, here we go. Bitcoin bicycle indicator hasn't flashed yet, so it can't be over. You can't rely too much on one indicator. Now, obviously, if we see the Bitcoin bicycle top indicator flash, get out of the market. But that's a long way away. Prediction, by the way, that's likely to happen in September, October, based on current trends, which aligns with 250K market cycle top theory for a lot of confluence around there. Okay. Okay. Steven says, you got offered the top 24 altcoin prices right now. Would you sell knowing what I know now? Yeah, sure. Of course. Obviously. Right. And then buy back in later. Right. I think one of the things that, has been catching me off guard is not just having a bigger willingness to just nuke everything from time to time. Too many coins in my portfolio, too hard to keep track of all the charts of all of them. So, I lose sight of what's going on with a lot of my coins. I'll look at the charts some point later. I'm like, oh, fuck. Anyway, yeah, if we could just go back in time and perfectly sell the top, obviously. It doesn't work like that. The best thing you can do now, moving forward, is think about, okay, moving forward, if you assume that it's not over, and if you're staying in the market, and if you think that we're going to bounce, and if you think that we still have the best days of this market cycle ahead of us, then you need to think about how you're going to take profits. What's your strategy going to be for making sure you take money consistently out of this market, not letting greed take over? Because that's going to separate you from the losers, because there's going to be a lot of losers in this market. A lot. That's it for today. We'll see you guys back for the live stream on Monday. We got some great content for you guys coming over the weekend as well, so make sure to check that out, and I'll see you back then. Peace.